Well,
Thank God you didn't say that in the radio.
yeah,
Eclipse Dine-In Cinemas Bundoran. Now serving pizza, hot dogs, ice cream, and more. To your seat. Find out more at
Time to join our man at the movies. Collie is standing by with the very latest from Eclipse Cinemas in Bundoran. And is it a bit frosty in Bundoran this evening?
yeah, I was just thinking that of the hundreds of Thursdays and Fridays we've done this, Shamey. This is the
Yeah.
first time I've ever done this, and the cinema's not actually open because, like a lot of places around here, we really haven't suffered from the weather at all in Bundoran. But this morning, the footpaths and everything are very icy, and you know what? Life's too short.
It
We want
is.
everyone to be happy and safe, particularly our staff. So we said we closed down. Now, not to the point of like I was thinking about, Donegal hasn't been hit. Not like Met Erin saying all of these things have happened to everywhere except Donegal. I thought they were working with Fáilte Ireland when they forgot Donegal. It's usually only them. Usually the only government body that forget Donegal. But anyway, yeah, we
Not to
are
worry.
closed, but hopefully it's just for tonight. And we'll have two brand new movies coming out tomorrow for everyone to see. One of which I've seen. Now, I have to say, Shamey, before we
Yes.
get into it, I wasn't sure which one to see, which one would be most suitable for you and me to talk about. Would it be the erotic workplace thriller starring Nicole Kidman, or was it the one about two bickering Egypts talking nonsense non-stop about nothing, one of whom is a know-it-all, and the other one might be the most annoying man in the world? Which movie should we pick, Shamey? I
Oh, I
didn't
think
know.
that's a hard
It gave
question.
me a real pain. But anyway,
Did you?
let's play a clip and we'll have a chat about the movie afterwards.
Davers and I are cousins. We used to be joined at the hip. Our grandma was from here, so Dave arranged for us to join this geriatric Polish tour with you fine people.
That's the way we get by.
I really needed this, man. I know that it's tough for you to leave your boy.
The way we get by.
I don't really have anything going on.
I know it's been a tough few months for you, so...
I also want to say that I know you're not the most comfortable person with people.
I'm not?
No. Does it look real?
Well, they're twice the size of you in metal, so...
You sure you don't want to come up here?
I'm good.
Can you take my picture?
That's what I'm talking about. Marcia!
Thank you, David.
But it's amazing that you're here, putting yourself out there so boldly for me.
Thank you, man.
Let's go smoke a joint.
It is amazing. It is amazing. This looks great, and it sounds great, and you have some great actors in there, and as a buddy comedy movie. But explain where they are.
Yeah, so
That's the-
they're two Jewish cousins who grew up in New York, and they're obviously very close when they were younger, and have kind of drifted apart. And when their grandmother died, who one of them, the Kieran Culkin character, was very close to, she left money for them to go home and see the homeland, So they decide that they kind of get back together and go back to see it. And the two actors, Jesse Eisenberg, who wrote it, and again, people might know the name straight away. Once they see the clip, they'll go, "Oh yeah, it's your man, I know it." And they're both kind of playing to type in that. J.C. Eisenberg, when he was in the Mark Zuckerberg movie,
Yes, he was
or
brilliant in that.
or that sort of nervous energy, can't relax, all that sort of stuff. And Kieran Culkin, kind of like a Succession character, just a mouth, loads of charm, but just says things and doesn't give a damn about the repercussions. Just plows his way through life. And it's this, and they clearly care about each other, but they're so different in some ways. And they
Opposites
arrive on
attract. Yeah.
this trip, and of course, they're both seeing their homeland, and they're the life and soul of this little tour group they're in. But also, they're going to a death camp. They're going to those things, very sensitive. And then you have this bull in a china shop, sort of American attitude of, "Look at me, I'm an American," and the other American guy going, "Oh no, everyone's going to hate us because we're Americans," And I haven't worked in tourism for years myself. I recognize this straight away. And what Kieran Culkin's so good at, and apparently he tried to get out of this movie twice, not once, but twice. He said he'd do it, and then went, "Oh, I don't know. It's impossible to imagine anyone else doing it as well."
He got an award for this.
Yeah, he got
already.
the Golden Globe. I'd say only for it's a comedy. I'd say he's a much better chance of getting an Oscar. They tend to give Oscars not so much for comedy.
Comedy, yeah.
He's so good in it, and he's clearly a character who's kind of a bit bipolar. So it's the life and soul of the party, and then says something awful, and everyone just stops. But there's all these other people on, most of whom are Jewish and are going back to see their roots, and he's just saying stuff just to get a reaction. And you're just going, "My God."
Oh, no.
It's very funny. It's quite sweet and sad at times. And there's a couple of lines that you go, "Wow." And there's great start of it where they end up bunking onto a train, And one of them saying, like, and Kieran Culkin is that total American going, we don't have to pay. Our people built this land, And he goes, and the other fella goes, our people were kicked out of this land because everyone said we were cheap. And that's sort of
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
compromise. I thought it was really good. Now, the sort of nervous energy won't be for everyone. And in some ways, long before scandals and stuff like that, I think if Woody Allen was making movies now, when the funny movies that he made, this would be the sort of thing he would do. You can imagine that sort of character in it. I really enjoyed it. Also, a famous thing that we've often talked about, an hour and 22 minutes,
An
Jamie.
hour and 22 minutes. Ooh,
An hour and 22 minutes. And it's just right. It goes with the tour rhythm. It ends kind of opened. And I think people will really enjoy it. And again, we should say Jesse Eisenberg, he wrote and directed it. Very interesting movie. Good fun. And real January fare. Totally different to anything we've seen in the last 5 months. There's nothing, there's no special effects or anything like
all
that.
back. It's a
it's
proper
just
movie.
good
All back to
actors
proper, yeah.
talking and chatting. Really interesting. I really
Well, it
enjoyed
struck a chord with me because I kind of went on a trip like that.
Yeah.
I was telling you off here, and one of the holidays I did a trip to Poland, and it reminded me though.
And that sort of group dynamic, where
the
everyone's
whole
on the
thing.
best behavior at first, and then people start to annoy each other. Let's be honest, that's
Yeah. You know what happens there, yeah.
I
It was all
won't
like
ask which one you were.
yeah. The annoying Irish fella. Yeah. Anyway, right. This caught my eye too, and she's back, and in Babygirl, this of course is Nicole Kidman, and always makes great movies, and this looks really good.
It looks really good. I tell you something. Once this releases tomorrow, there'll be no problem with ice around Bundoran because this is hot. I saw the trailer for the first time about 2 weeks ago, and I went, "Whoa! I wonder will they get this?" And what it is, it's sort of she is, a high-powered exec, top of her game, happily married to Antonio Banderas, and then this young intern starts with her, a guy called Harris Dickerson. Who we know from Where the Crawdads Sing and a few other things. Very, good actor, very handsome, much, 30 years younger.
Very sinister kind of
actor. A sort of affair starts between them.
Yeah.
And the power shift of she's the boss in work, but maybe not here. And I was going, wow, this is, not I ever saw it before. And I haven't seen the movie yet, but it's got rave reviews, particularly for Nicole Kidman's performance, who's always been a fine actor and never been afraid to push the envelope, was in Eyes Wide Shut and stuff like that, always took a dead calm, always took risky stuff before sort of the big stardom stuff. So this looks really good. And again, this is the sort of movie we get here this time of year. I know they'll be hoping for awards and Oscars and stuff like that. So all of January, we're going to be talking a lot about kind of, actor-driven movies, story-driven movies. There's going to be very few talking dogs and exploding helicopters. It's going to be that.
They all have to be out before the Oscars.
So
certain days.
Really interesting. I can't wait to see it. I'm going to hopefully when cinema's open tomorrow, I'm going to slip in and watch it there. Although this is how a man gets a reputation, watching a movie like this on my own. I might have to invite a few other people, right? But it looks really good. Proper grown-up adult movie.
Yeah, nice to see Anthony Banderas in there as well. And he's given up the Puss in Boots for
well, he's also still showing in Paddington, and he is that too. Yeah, so.
He's great, isn't he? He's great. Right, missed it Monday. You're bringing back that horror, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's Craven. So here's one, it's the end of the sort of Spider-Man spin-off. Spider-Man's coming back, but the spin-offs aren't. And because some of them, let's face it, Madam Web and Morbius were awful. Right? This one is grand. Now, you were preaching to the converted here. If you like this sort of thing, you'll go watch this, especially for a $5 next Monday, and go, do you know what? That's not half bad. It's not half good either. It's just about right. It's fairly standard stuff, but it's good crack if you enjoy that sort of thing. So, why I sometimes try and talk you into going to movies that you wouldn't normally go. This is not one of the ones I would pick because you never want to. This is very much standard superhero affair, but I think people who are kind of curious go, well, I like the other ones. I like Venom. Should I go and see this one? If you've been waiting till now, this is your chance. It's only a $5 on Monday. It's a good time to see it. And next week, though, we're going to be talking about something that's right up your street. It's a complete unknown. The Bob Dylan film. I know.
Yes.
I know.
I was telling you, we got some of the soundtrack.
Yeah.
And he's doing all the music himself.
Yep.
And it sounds pretty good.
It sounds pretty good. Now, I am not a huge Bob Dylan fan, more fan of his songs more than of his singing. But you know the way, like, it was amazing when people did the music for, Johnny Cash and a couple others. Is doing Bob Dylan a wee bit easier. I'm just saying. Please
Well, I
don't
mean-
hassle us, Bob Dylan fans. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but it's not like doing.
We could
Maria
try out
Callas,
for that.
is it? You
We
know?
could try out for that.
Yeah, although he's so I suppose he's so distinctive, and especially when he was younger, and probably the voice was a wee bit better. And those
I think
songs
this deals
so
with his younger
famous.
life, though, isn't it? It's when he starts
and it is
and all that.
it's about the time when he was with Joan Baez, and I think it's not afraid to show that Bob Dylan was a brilliant artist, but maybe not always a brilliant man, as many of them are. Like this. When they make the Van Morrison movie, that's going to be a lot of fun, right? Where they're going to go music.
I'm going to try out for that. Yeah.
You know
got the looks and all.
You know what the story is about Van Morrison, that they say there's two types of people who like Van Morrison and people who've met him. But but I have to say though, musically a genius, and I think the same with Bob Dylan, who's I think also a complicated character. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that, and I'm hoping to invite you up, Seamie. Maybe we'll get to see it, both of us, and talk about it next week.
We will talk about that, and I'm delighted to do that, and we really look forward to seeing that. Oscar nominations are being delayed over the fire
because of the fires, but
Yeah.
fingers crossed, Kneecap. Anyway, I don't think Cillian Murphy's going to get it for Small Things, even though he deserves it. But Kneecap, still in with a chance, and wouldn't that be hilarious? Kneecap at the Oscars.
Absolutely. That's Collie on Movies. Till next Thursday, enjoy the movies.